No, study the live stream. Would you do push it? Audio is good. Time for call. Yeah, he will get back to me. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Girivaradhari Pinchalavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajadana Yashodanandana Brajadana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Ayarada Madhava Kunjabihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotra Saptashishya His Divine Grace Aise Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Jai.
नामाचार्य श्री लहरदास ठाकुर की जय, श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to Assembled, all glories to Assembled, all glories to Assembled, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Vitalis Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Vitalis Bhaktivedanta Swami. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasadi Guru Shesha Shunivali Paschat Deshatarane. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Canto 1, chapter number 19, text number 39. So we were speaking on 38 yesterday, so we'll do 39. Nunam Bhagavato Brahman
Nunam Bhagavato Brahman
Gruheshu Gruhamedhinam
Grihamedinam
न लक्ष्यते हि अवस्थानम
न लक्ष्यते अवस्थानाम्
अपि गोदोहनं क्वचित्
अपि गोदोहनं क्वचित्
नूनं भगवतो ब्रह्मन्
नूनं भगवतो ब्रह्म
गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम्
गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम्
न लक्ष्यते हि अवस्थानम्
न लक्ष्यते हि अवस्थानम्
अपि गोदोहनं क्वचित्
अपि गोदोहनं क्वचित् नूनं भगवतो ब्रह्मन्
नूनं भगवतो ब्रह्मन्
गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम्
गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम्
न लक्ष्यते अवस्थानम्
न लक्ष्यते हि अवस्थानम्
अपि गोदोहनं क्वचित्
अपि गोदोहनं क्वचित् नूनं
नूनं
because Bhagavataha
भगवतः
of you
of you
who are powerful Brahman
Brahman
O Brahmana
Brahmana
Griheshu
Griheshu
in the houses
the houses
Grihamedinam
Grihamedinam
of the householders
the household
Na not Lakshate
Lakshate
are seen he exactly Avasthanam staying in Api even Go Dohanam
Godohanam
milking the cow
milking the cow
Kwachit
Kvachit
rarely. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O powerful Brahmana, it is said that you hardly stay in the houses of men long enough to milk a cow. Purport. Um, Saints and sages in the renounced order of life go to the houses of the householders at the time they milk the cows early in the morning and ask some quality of milk for subsistence. A pound of milk fresh from the milk bag of a cow is sufficient to feed an adult with all vitamin values, and therefore saints and sages live only on milk. Even the poorest of the householders keep at least 10 cows, each delivering 12 to 20 quarts of milk, and therefore no one hesitates to spare a few pounds of milk for the mendicants. It is the duty of householders to maintain the sages and saints and sages like the children. So a saint like Sukadev Goswami would hardly stay at the house of a householder for more than 5 minutes in the morning. In other words, such saints are very rarely seen in the houses of householders. And Maharaj Parikshit therefore prayed to him to instruct him as soon as possible. The householders also should be intelligent enough to get some transcendental information from visiting sages. The householder should not foolishly ask a saint to deliver what is available in the market. That should be the reciprocal relationship between the saints and the householders. Please repeat the translation after me. O powerful Brahmana,
O powerful Brahmana,
it is said that you hardly stay in the houses of men long enough to milk a cow. मज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुताः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So thank you. I thank everyone for joining today, and also I thank our dear Prabhu for giving me opportunity to purify myself and engage early in the morning in the reading of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, this verse is actually very deep enough and a very pertinent and very important and highly concentrated message is stored in this purport. Srila Prabhupada has given so many points based on this. One beauty of Srila Prabhupada, the purport is that Srila Prabhupada gives a comprehensive understanding of any particular verse in the purport. Sometimes we may not find it relatable. We may think, no, the translation and then this doesn't matter. But Srila Prabhupada exactly know that how what is the meaning of this particular verse. Now here, as Sukadev the Parikshit Maharaj is describing about the Sukadeva Goswami, that what kind of lifestyle he maintains it. These great personalities or saints, they do not stay at any particular house for a longer time. Uh, they just take whatever they need for it. They go to big alms for their subsistence, and then they move away. And even the alms also, it's not that, like, if you see that they are asking for the milk, or sometimes fruits, or very bare minimum things. And there is no hoarding mentality. This is very important for all of us to understand. Unfortunately, that most of the, in fact, all the entire living species are like that. It is being said that if you put a bag of rice on the street, what will happen? The birds will come. They'll take away whatever is needed. That much they'll take it, and that's it. But if any human being comes, what he will do? He might need only one bowl of rice, probably, one bowl of rice, or maybe one bucket of rice. But beyond that, he doesn't need. What will happen? He will take away everything, and he will say, "Oh, I will store it for a month, for 2 months," and this is how it will do. This is a human nature, and we have a hoarding mentality, and whereas these personalities, they have called it the Ajgar Vritti. It's in Sanskrit, they say that Ajgar Vritti means they don't do anything. They don't endeavor anything unless and until it comes by its own accord. That's how they do that, and we can see that in the case of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. This is how they lived it. In Sanatana Goswami, as he was worshipping the deities, the deities used to say that. I think they were the deities itself, is it Radha, Madan Mohan? Yes. Yeah. So they had the deities, and then the deities used to have a conversation with Sanatana Goswami, and they used to say that, hey, Sanatana Goswami, why are you feeding me this stale chapatis? Huh? Give me, get me some nice foodstuffs. And Sanatana Goswami says, hey, oh, I'm a beggar, I'm a mendicant. What will I have? I don't have anything. Okay, this is what I have, and you have to actually satisfy with whatever I've given it. And this is how he renounced Sanatana Goswami was, and even the deities also used to be even happy with whatever he has given it. So such was the lifestyle of great personalities, and we can draw some inspiration out of it. These are not stories which we have to just hear for recreation. These are stories from which we can derive some inspiration that how we are supposed to lead a life. If you're serious about a spiritual practice, then this is what we have to lead a life. And in fact, for the sake of for the healthy living, this is what is the lifestyle should be. And even for the betterment of the society, this is how we should live. Otherwise, what will happen? And we'll become more greedy. And that, as you say, that that lust, anger, greed. These leads to nothing but a Tridam Narkasidam Dwaram. Okay, so Nashanam. So these are the ones that leads to hell. Okay, or even for applicable for the devotees also. So what we have to understand, and how much, whatever is needed, that much we should take it. Okay, not more than that. And then otherwise, then the greedy mentality will spoil the relationships also, and it will spoil our consciousness as well. So here, and whatever comes in its own accord, that we have to understand. Okay, fine, it is coming. Then I should accept that and move on, because we should engage our energy and our resources and our time in cultivating the Krishna consciousness. That's most important, and it's vital for us. Otherwise, our entire vitality, if we spend in, in some non-devotional things, then what will happen? We will have a less energy to spend on Krishna consciousness, and that is that's not good for our own spiritual health. And if especially those people who have intelligent goals in their mind, especially spiritual goals, then they are not supposed to spend or waste their energies on such kind of a trivial things. So, Sukadeva Goswami here, Parishad Maharaj is addressing Sukadeva Goswami. What a personality you are. This is how you live it. You don't stay at anybody's house. And this is good in one sense. And think about it, if you stay at, even among the relatives also, if you stay at any relative's house for a longer period of time, there's always there's a possibility of a conflict. And they will also talking, they'll also start gossiping about it. So I think it's an, for the healthy relationships, and also to maintain a very wonderful camaraderie, we should not stay at any place for a longer period of time. That's a best thing for anyone. Now here, very important concepts which are being said by Srila Prabhupada, that how we should sustain ourselves. You know that what happens is that in we increase our wants more and more, and that actually expands our life, our engagements. And then it drags and sucks us, sucks our time, and it's like it becomes like a quagmire, and we get completely caught up in that. And there's one beautiful story, and I'll try to summarize it, and try to tell it in a short way, so that we can get the essence out of it. So there was one saint. He had a disciple, and saint wanted to go to he wanted to go to a pilgrimage. So he asked his disciple that you please uh, you know the he asked him um, that you be here, and be here, and then keep chanting. And then he went for a pilgrimage. And since he was staying, and he was chanting, and in a hut, and then that time what happened is that there was some rats. They used to eat up his clothes, um, and also they used to disturb whatever he used to cook. So then he thought that, how to actually stop this nuisance. So then he got a cat. So to stop the nuisance of the rats. And then eventually what happened is that as just to maintain the cat, then he has to get the then the cows, because cats are supposed to fed the milk. Then for to maintain the cat, he got a cows, and then to maintain the cows, then further, then he had to get married. Okay, so then he got a wife. Then since he got a wife, then he had to, he had to bear the children. So then he got children, and this is how his business. And since he got children, then to take to shoulder the responsibility, he had to work outside, and this is how and he expanded his engagements more and more. And one fine day, the saint again comes back, and then he sees that the hut which was there, which was a very very austere hut, very simple hut. Now it has become a big house, and he was surprised. Did I miss my the route? And then and he found out, luckily enough, that there was a man who was there. And when he saw him, he immediately rushed towards him, and then he fell at his feet and he said, "Oh, Gurudev, I'm so happy that you have come back." And then he said, "What happened to you? Like, I left you as a monk, and now I'm seeing you as a householder." And then I said, "Oh, Gurudev, you asked me like to stay here at 1%, to keep chanting and don't go anywhere." That's what I was doing. But then he narrated the entire story that the rats started disturbing him, and then eventually I got a cat, and then to maintain the cat, then I had to get a cow, and then to get a cow to maintain the cow, then I had to get married, and then since I got married, I had children, and since I had children, then I had to maintain the family, and then the business expanded. This is what he told to them. So this is the essence of the story is that, and the this moral is applicable for each and every one of us. This is how actually the material energy engages us. One thing leads to another thing, and unnecessary. Sometimes we don't need it. We just want to, like, and we just we think that, oh, it might need it, and then to maintain it, they take up our time. The things we own, they own our time. That's what happens. So what we should try to live as austere as possible. It's the minimalistic life is the best life. The more the less is more. They generally say that. That's so. This is actually a very important principle for all of us, and those who aspire aspire to be a serious spiritual practitioners. They should actually be very serious about this one, because this is what happens. We can spend more energy in for our spiritual practices. Otherwise, all these things, they will take up more and more of our time, and we should try to think what are the things which actually takes away most of our time. And those are the things which we should avoid. And even as we live as a householder, like, if any one of us, like, if we happen to live in a householder life, like since I am, so we should try to keep very simple life. So what happens, if you want tomorrow, if you want to move from any place, simple, easy, then get, like, pack your bags and then move away. It should be as simple as that. But I know, like, some I might sound little a little foolish. If any householder actually hears my talk, they will say, "What is this? This man is like, did he come from Himalayas or somewhere else?" No, but it's not that, like, and I also have so many things. But when I before I got married, and I had very very few things. Like, I used to, like, pack my bags and then go from one place to another place. It was as simple as that. And if I have to, even when I had to come to come to the West Coast, I pack my bag in 5 minutes. That's it, and then end of the story. 5 minutes, and then morning, just like, by 10 minutes, pack the bag and nothing else, and then, like, just got onto the plane and came here. So if you leave, keep simple, then you can spend more time in Krishna consciousness and activity. Otherwise, what happens? If you expand your business, and then you will have more desires, this and that and this and that, and then bhoktaram is also uh, no, not bhoktaram, that I forgot. So those whose minds, like, who have all this kind of desires for them, like, the Krishna consciousness, the desires doesn't actually they don't actually last. They don't actually arise, because the other things. our enjoyment mentality that or sense enjoyment that eats up of our time. Hmm? Uh, Bhogeshwar Prasaktanam. Yeah. Taya Paratta Chetasam. So that's the verse. Yeah. So that's the verse. So where this is what happens. So all the things, so when we have sense enjoyment, then such kind of the spiritual austerities doesn't come to our mind at all. So we have to be very careful how not to spend time in such kind of activities and keep life simple as much as possible for in many things. That helps even in terms of relationship and even in terms of living a life as well. Yeah, and it's very that will that doesn't clutter our mind and it keeps us it keeps us more peaceful. If you have so much of clutter, what happens here? You'll get actually mad. You think that if in any house, if you see if it is clean, nice and clean, and if it is not there, your mind is very at calm and peace. But otherwise, what will happen? You get so disturbed by that, and you get so annoyed. Like now, yeah, you'll get so annoyed. That's why the clutter-free mind is clutter-free house will have a clutter-free mind. Okay, that's the thing. And here later on, it has been explained that a saint like Sudhusama would hardly stay at the house of householder for more than 5 minutes in the morning. Yeah. In other words, such saints are very rarely seen in the houses of householders. Yes, very few. They are, they don't go to the houses, and especially as a, when we are those who are missionaries, renounced outdoors, they should maintain this kind of things, like not to go at any particular houses. Sometimes, when I was living in the temple, and that time I wasn't married, so I did not eat anywhere outside, even into the houses of any householders also. So they used to call me, I think this is a very fanatic guy. But I don't know, somehow I thought that only Krishna, only temple prasad. Other than that, nothing, no else, nothing else. I know, it sounds to be very very extreme. But sometimes for some, in the beginning days, you should follow such kind of things. Like, okay, this is strict, and it is good. It avoids, because what happens, what you eat, that makes your consciousness. Yeah, and since you want to build strong so you should make sure that you eat only Krishna conscious, nothing else. Like sometimes and if you're working outside, your friends will take you to eat to go somewhere and something there, and you eat all those things, then it will spoil your consciousness. How you will become a Krishna consciousness? It is not possible at all, and there's no way you can maintain your your Krishna consciousness state. It is not possible. So that's why make sure that these are our words. Yesterday, as we were talking, do nots are very important. I will not do these things in my life at all, and say no for the first time, then all the time. Okay, so first time you don't. If you give liberty first time, it's okay. I will do it first time. It's one time you do it, then it's okay. And then, no, don't ever say that. Don't give a taste to your mind even for the first time. Then you will not do it anytime. That's why. That's why this principle you have to understand. No, say no for the first time, then all the time. It will automatically happen. And this happens to even for the sex life also. I mean, for any other things. Like, if your mind is drawn to any to any opposite sex and to any other genders and then that time, like, we should be very strict. This is against my religious principles, and I'm not supposed to do this, and that's it. And say no for the first time, avoid for the first time, and then you're good in place. So these are very important for us to understand that we have. And as been explained that, and we also see how our duty as householders and as a budding Krishna consciousness devotees, what we should do, we should try to serve the devotees, and especially the personalities like Sukadeva Goswami. If you see how Nityanand Prabhu's their parents also, and they were such a great personalities. I know the Hadai Pandit and uh, uh, Padmavati. And at their house, the mendicant came. And as the mendicant came, their parents, they were willing to give anything and everything. They asked him, you ask me anything. Okay. How we can serve. And then he asked while going, please give me your son. And the son was life and soul. Who would like to give their son? And nobody. And if somebody asks, man, give me Gopal, probably I'll think 100, I'll think a million times. Like, how is this possible? Like, why are you asking? I would say, I would say no, probably. Yeah. But then, for them, it was very hard. Like, for their heart, to part their son from. Like them. But then what happened? Both of them, then they gave it. Because the curse of a brahmana, of a mendicant, is far more than even having them also. So that's why they gave it to give them. Nityan Prabhu. And this is, of course, then Nityan Prabhu went on to the big the pilgrimage that we just had the wonderful Nityananda Prabhu. And we can understand that these are great personalities. This is what they teach us. That what how we should live. And yesterday I was telling, since I'm talking about the Chaitanya Charitamrita, I was telling you one point yesterday that how that sometimes what happens as we practice this austerities and as we do those austerities and we become little more fixed up in our Krishna consciousness, pride starts actually seeping in, and then I'm situated very nicely situated. There is nothing, there is no problem. Now in Chaitanya Charitamrita there are many examples. There is example of Chota Haridas. There is also example of the Kala Krishna Das. These are two personalities. They stayed with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, they're staying with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but both of them fell down. One was speculating, okay, and then other was the Krishna. He fell into the Bhattaharis. He got attracted by this Bhattaharis. This is what happens. So we have to be very careful that how do not ever think that now I'm there is great force with me. I'm greatly situated. I'm very I'm practicing very rigidly. It doesn't matter whom you might be, and I'm telling you from my own experience also. You might be staying in temple. You might be very close to great personalities and but do not ever think that you are safely situated. Any moment Maya can trap you, and any moment you may fall trap to the illusory energy. That's why always be alert. Always be alert. That's why our antenna should be on all the time, and the alarm should it should go off as soon as as soon as we see some danger. That's how sensitive we should be. So it's not like we cannot be complacent. We cannot be inattentive at any moment of time. The small inattentiveness will actually cause a great damage to our Krishna consciousness practice. And there are great examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita. We can see that yesterday as we were saying that. So never ever have any kind of a pride in our mind, and never ever think that we are safe and secure. Again, we can keep ourselves safe and secure, but do not think we'll be safe and secure in that. There is no place which is safe and secure. Even in the presence, even in the temple also, or even in the setting of such kind of setting, we cannot consider ourselves to be safe. We have to endeavor for that. We have to always beg for Lord's protection. My dear Lord, please protect me. Please protect me all the time, the moment after moment. Life is nothing but choice. Like what is choices? Choices we make moment after moment. Every moment we have to seek for, well, my dear Lord, please protect me. And that's how we should do that. And Srila Prabhupada said that to all the Western devotees, my Western devotees, they do not actually take the illusory energy, the material energy very seriously. They do not. Yeah, that's why. Because we don't. If you don't take, because it's Krishna's energy. How can it be actually? Anything which is it is low. It is not possible. It cannot be less powerful. It is extremely powerful. That's why we have to say, we have to pray to Krishna, my dear Lord, please pray. Please protect me. Please protect me from all kinds of dangers. From any attractions, from any distractions, from any sense enjoyments, from any sense pleasures, from any objects of attractions. Please save me. I do not want no dhanam, no janam, no sundaram. It's very difficult, but what? At least one thing. There are subtle things like this. Gross maybe avoid, but subtle things it is very difficult. Pride. Okay, so all and the praise. All these things it's very difficult. The praise we want praise this. For instance, I'm trying to get some more education in AI. So so we want pride. Oh, like people should call me this one. I'm highly educated. I'm PhD. I'm three times masters and so on and so forth. I have this one. I've accomplished that one. So this we were puja pratishtha labha. So these are dangers we should actually try to avoid that. These hamper our Krishna consciousness. Yeah, so we have to safeguard ourselves, and has been said that graheshu graha medinam. So we don't have to be graha medinam, as I've given an example that that the what happens is that in graha medinam, so as we expand our business, okay, that one, and there is gross way and there is subtle way which we expand. So we make sure that We do not fall trap to do those kind of things, and also do not consider that, like, oh, as we are practicing, we are safe and secure. There is no place safe and secure. Padam padam yad padam natesham, which I already said. There is always a danger at every step. Yes. Uh, and we should always seek the shelter of such Krishna and great personalities, as did the Parikshit Maharaj. Even though he was a Vishnu Rat, as been explained yesterday. Krishna saved him personally, but still, another example which I'm saying you, another example, he would have said that I'm actually self-realized soul. Krishna, I've seen Krishna personally. He came personally to save me, so I am a special chosen soul. I don't need anyone. I'm already, and there is nothing, no danger to me. He would have said that, but no. So look at his. He himself is asking, is seeking shelter of Sukadeva Goswami and asking, begging to him, like, please, and asking him all asking him the right questions and asking me, please, like, instruct me. शिष्यस्तेन शादिमां त्वं प्रचम कार्पण्य दोषोपधा स्वभाव पृच्छामि त्वं धर्म समुद्धचेता. So this is what, so this is how our mentality should be. Like, how even Arjuna was, like, all the time Krishna was there with him, all the time. But then what he did, yeah, what he did, then he sought he sought the Krishna's help, and he asked, like, please help me. I'm your surrendered soul, and such an accomplished man, but how humble he was. Uh, and this is when you are humble enough, then the knowledge flows, then the mercy flows, then the devotion flows. That's why we should never say that, like, I'm graduated from Stanford, MIT, Harvard, and I never ever had that, like, never ever have any kind of pride in it. We always know for sure that there is always better than us. There is always people want something who can do better than us. Yeah. So we have to know that. Okay. Don't ever feel that. And I'm telling you from my own mistakes also. Okay. So here we can understand from Parikshit Maharaj that how humble he was, and then he sought the help and the shelter of Sukadeva Goswami, and asking him that, please guide me, instruct me. Yeah. So as yesterday I was saying that, like, how in the same place at the Stanford University, the Steve Jobs, he said one of the there in his epic talk, there are many actually instructions which you can take. One of the instructions is that the stay foolish. So even though he was, you can see that, like, how revolutionary he was, and but he also said that stay foolish. So that means what does it mean? That it's not like, no matter, always keep a room for improvement, and there is always a room. It's not. Don't ever think that, like, I'm accomplished, I'm established, I'm actually a big achiever. Never ever think that. Like, there is always, and we should be always there. So as being in Trinadapisunichena, in that, like, the tree which is laden with the fruits, it always bends. Okay, and that's how we should be, and that's how we can actually enter uh, into the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and we can actually taste the nectar of the holy name. Otherwise, it'll be touch and go. Hmm. So let us pause here today. I think uh, I know we have to go somewhere, but anyway, should we?
Can you if there's any question?
Okay. Yes, Prabhu. So let's take some, as just like yesterday, some reflections, some thoughts, some ideas, some suggestions, or any comments, concerns, issues.
Hey, Krishna, Prabhu, I had one question.
Yes, Prabhu.
So you
We are not able to hear you, Prabhu.
okay? Is it better now, Prabhu?
Yeah. So go ahead, speak.
Okay. So you were talking about Saralta hi Vaishnavta and how simplicity is Vaishnavism, and you can easily move if you want to, having lesser things and all of these. Prabhu. And you also said we should try to give as much time as we can to Krishna consciousness and not distract ourselves and so on. But in this day and age, it's a very competitive world, right? Because as much time as we spend in Krishna consciousness, there are people spending time in upskilling or learning new things, and the world becomes very competitive. So, how do we stay competitive while also not losing our Krishna consciousness, or the amount of time we spend in Krishna consciousness to reduce when we also have to stay competitive in the world to even maintain ourselves? Or yeah, I think That's what I want to ask.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know it's very difficult, in this day and age. Like, we have to as constantly upskill ourselves. It's very true. Yeah. And I see even at I mean, Boston, also so many people like we have so students sometimes they're not able to do certain things, and constantly they are on the late nights they are there, and there was one student who was there. It was late night, and then he had a very bad severe neck issue, and we had to actually take him to ER. But then what happened? We had some devotees, doctors, we called them late night. This was, our entire the sleep was spoiled. We were all of like 10 people were actually addressing him, like pressing him, giving him massage, applying this and that. Like it was very difficult. And he what he did for whole 10 days, or maybe not 10, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, he was not coming. Like all night he was studying, nothing but just studying very competitively. Yeah, that's what he was doing. It's very difficult. I can understand that. Yeah. Yeah, but that as our great saint Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had said that this is all called as Ugra Karma. So we have to draw a line at somewhere. Okay, yes, it is there. Okay, it is there. All these things are there. Competitiveness is there. Yeah. So it's what matters is our choices. That how far I can go. Okay, and how much I can spend. There's for everywhere there are choices, and one should be wise enough, like to choose our areas of competencies wherever there where we need certain things. And like to give an example, like what I chose in my when I had certain projects, like I think I saw one project where it was squeezing a lot of my time, and I knew that I had to spend my nights also. Then I prayed to my Radha Gopal, and then what happened in my so by their divine mercy, I was moved to another project because there was a less this one, less stress. And then eventually my life was very easy then afterwards. And of course, and then it's like I'm just one of the examples which I gave it to. Okay, and then later on now because I'm trying to upskill myself in AI, but at the same time I am not compromising in certain things like in some certain spiritual practices. Uh, but I also do like there are heavy sometimes I'm sleep deprived at certain times. But I'm late night doing certain things, and then morning also again wake up, and then I'm sleep deprived for many things. So yeah, you have to somehow balance it out and manage certain things. But also you have to choose your own battles, and you have to like choose how much what time I can spend it. That much liberty, Krishna has given it to us, and we can choose that. It is our own choices which makes us. So you have to choose how far I have to go. Okay, if you put yourself to, there is no limit for anything. Even for upskilling, there is no limit. You can go on and on and on and on and on. You have to say that this is what it is, and also, there has to be also management. Like you can time manage certain things. Okay, this is what you can time box certain things. This is what as the time for my wisdom, and this is what it is, and that's how you should do it. Otherwise, it's just like a mad, as yesterday you were saying that a foolish Russian, where the angels dare not to tread in. So that's what happens. So we have to understand that. I have to yes, we have to do that. Then time box certain things and manage your times. We cannot compromise under any circumstances our spiritual practice. Period. That's it. That's what we need to understand. That that's this is one, and then afterward, this is what I have to do. So whatever, and in that spiritual practices, whatever you list down, this is what I am going to do. So you have to have the high priorities thing. This. What can stay float your Krishna consciousness? That most priority things you should keep. One definitely is chanting. For sure, there is no compromise on that. So then chanting, and definitely hearing and reading. These are the two important things that can stay afloat our Krishna consciousness. And weekly or other things like the our Krishna consciousness association as much as possible, because it can erode our consciousness very fast if you don't have any association as such. So we have to make sure that this is there in a bucket list, whether it is weekly or whatever time period you want to keep it. That you can do that. And that's what in the 10th chapter. What is that? Tesham Satadiktanam. Dadadam. Tesham Satadiktanam. Bhajatam Pritipurukam, Dadami Buddhi Yugam Tam, Yena Mamupyantite. Krishna says this one. Even like those who are like devoted to Krishna, Krishna will give them the intelligence how to resolve this. Even you can stay competitive. Now, don't we think that like Arjuna wasn't competitive? My God, how much there were so many people who were already learning the archery skills, but he was supremely competitive. But at the same time, he was also Krishna conscious. So we need to, and he was no less than anybody else. In fact, he was the topmost. Nobody could do even defeat him at all. But how supreme archer he was, and how great devotee he was. So we have to understand that these are the questions which which can take us away from Krishna consciousness. We think, oh, the world is, because the outside world is already, they are filled with these kind of ideas and concepts. And you see, because those examples actually they actually impact us and affect us, and then we compromise our Krishna consciousness, and we have to see the other side of examples also, like where that people are able to manage it properly. Okay. One thing we have to know, that among everything, even though we are after achieving all these things, if your Krishna consciousness is going to die, then anything which actually takes us away from Krishna consciousness, that should be avoided. There is no second thought on that. There is no doubt. But we are not saying that one should give it up. Okay, so because I also work in IT field, and I know how much and I'm probably I might do even I'm thinking of doing PhD also. But at the same time, but I have certain things in my mind already. Yes, this is, I cannot compromise it. I have to, this is what I'm going to do. My Krishna consciousness practice, under any circumstances, I am not going to sacrifice it, and I'm not going to compromise at that time. Okay, there are certain things in which are there. So this is, we have to draw lines. I hope I made it. And also there are certain details. Every individual has their own this. Also that can be resolved by talking to a senior devotee, whom you actually confide with, who can confide with. So you can definitely have that kind of discussion. But I've given a general guidelines, and do not take it to extremes. Okay, please uh, have discussions. If any specifics we can already be discussed. But in general, Vishal Prabhu, this is what is the principle we should adopt. I hope I answered
Thank
your
you
question.
very much, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, definitely. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Yeah. Yes.
You can still.
Okay, dear devotees. So thank you, for giving me your association, and thank you, Prabhu, for allowing me to speak. We will, we have to go somewhere to see all Srila Prabhupada places in San Francisco. So I'll take your leave, and I'm grateful to all of you for giving me a wonderful association and engaging me in Krishna Katha. Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to stay, and thank you, Vishal Prabhu, for your wonderful and amazing cooking. We are very grateful to you. Sorry, we could not actually do any service to both of you, Vishal Prabhu and Jesh Prabhu, Jeshwanta. Kindly forgive us, but I take this opportunity that please come to Boston and allow me to serve both of you personally. Thank you once again. Hare Krishna.
You're very kind, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
It's Vanamali Pandit Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
About you, Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees.